Good day, everybody. We're back after a week layoff and ready to start episode 3 of this charming little Austinian tale. My name is Kat. I was asked to do this, and I agreed because I love good society and I love Jane Austen so much. So here, those two great things. Uh, but let me stop babbling and introduce the cast. In which I have to, now remember everybody's characters because we've been off for 2 weeks, and that's just clearly too long. But first, let's introduce Liam, who is playing the charming, if somewhat at sea, Lieutenant Albert Dunwoody.
Yes. So my name's Liam O'Brien. I'm playing Bertie. Um, and I think he's just, I think as of last time, he just continued to dig his hole a little deeper. I think he's just a little bit further done in at this point.
There is a long-standing tradition of the British naval character who is at sea on land, and
Yes.
yes, yeah. I mean, geez, Patrick O'Brien got 20 novels out of that one, so you're well on your way. So next, let's talk about not Bertie's bête noire, but someone who probably watches him with the calculated indifference of one of the Olympians. So please let's welcome Talia, who is a wonderful player and is playing a kind of nice person, sort of. Uh, our dear lady Persephone Dabbridgecourt.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my best. I'm doing my best to be not a nice character, so I appreciate. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm interested. She might change. I don't know. Maybe we'll experience character growth.
Character growth is allowed in Jane Austen. I checked. Um, Now let us welcome someone who's now made 2 games of an RPG for the first time in their life, I think, and has yet to run away. So somebody's doing something right, possibly all of us. So please let's welcome Manny, who's playing Marmaduke Huckleberry, who is he's like capitalism, right? He's just capitalism.
Yes, he is. And Marmaduke is this vapid young man who is born to a famously rich shoemaker and is looking for suitable alliance. But at the moment, it seems to me he's adrift because he's far away from his goal. And I'm hoping Marmaduke lands his lady love, maybe this episode and next. Just praying for Marmaduke before his father changes his mind about that £10,000 a year inheritance.
I think you'll find that the Marmadukes of the world tend to fail upwards. So last but assuredly not least, someone I am always very, very happy to share a table with, which I get to do frequently. So please let's welcome Preston, who's playing Eleanor de Maurier, a nice, very straight lady, yes?
I have in my mind that she is very bisexual, but I think she's aware of her time that she's in. I have not decided how nice she is. I think she is a bit of a busybody. And I have plans this session. I think her second connection is formed, and it is a suitor, because I know several people had hope, maybe, but we shall see if those hopes are dashed upon the rocks.
Well, you know what they say about bisexuals. They admit to liking ABBA. And as I mentioned before, I'm Kat. I'm playing Lucio Shannon, who walks 2 worlds. She's an actress of Irish extraction who has done very well for herself, and now the bills are coming due, and she doesn't know how to pay them. And I'm sure she'll figure that out without having her father drag her back down into whatever ditch he's currently calling home. So this will be great. Alrighty. Where the hell did we end up? We finished rep. Oh, good lord, we've got to do epistolary, don't we? Cool. So we'll just jump straight freaking into epistolary. And as a reminder, everybody can write up to 2 letters. You can pay people resolve tokens to force them to write you a letter. That's your gig. And then after that, we will do upkeep. And boy, we got a lot of upkeep to do, so this will be fun. So the royal post is blowing his horn. If anyone has a letter they wish to put in the mail, please.
All right. Bertie wishes to write Persephone de Bridgecourt. All right. What's the least formal mode of address that I can do?
Oh my goodness. I'm already offended.
No, I mean just because I really don't want to do certainly can't do dearest. Even my dear, I just want to just do dear Persephone, dear Lady Persephone, the Bridgecourt. I believe my words and actions have gotten me off on a very bad footing with you and yours. I sincerely regret anything I may have said or done to offend you. I realize referring to our previous acquaintance some 20 years ago was inept of me, to say the least. And while I am here, entombed within this lovely countryside with you, I would prefer to not be estranged of your company. You are amongst one of the shining stars of this area, and to continue to be on your bad side would be very unpleasant for me. And to be perfectly honest, my host, Nora, who I'm sure despairs of me ever learning proper etiquette. If we should ever meet again, please accept my humblest apologies, Lieutenant Albert Dunleavy.
Wow. Can I respond to that? Is that one of my letters? I mean, I'm happy to use
Yes,
it.
if you respond, it will be one of your letters.
Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll hold off for now then.
That's the chess game.
Yes.
I'm holding on to my letters.
Oh, I've had people burn me with writing me a letter after I've spent my 2, and I'm just like, I would love to respond to that. I will do so in play.
Okay.
Talia,
Yes.
what if I pay you a resolve token to have Persephone or Percy, which however they wish to write themselves, write to Eleanor
Oh my god.
in the aftermath of their last
You
meeting.
play so dirty. You play so dirty. Okay, I can't refuse. You've spent a token. Nora. Oh, I thought we were like, aren't we disconnected now or whatever?
We are fractured. That
Fractured?
happened last time. You became fractured, and you are fractured with me. And you burned all the letters that were written to Percy.
Yeah. So does this do something like
Oh, technical?
Yeah.
No, there's no
Okay, there's that I'm allowed to write to you. Okay. I was trying to weasel my way out. Nora, I regret to say I behaved poorly at our meeting the other day. I felt attacked. But the truth is, I miss how close we used to be. And I fear my time is running out to save my family's name. It's like ... on the page. I like clearly that ink dried before the next bit.
I will remind you, I remember this from Pride and Prejudice. People would start letters, halt to see if there was more to add, and then like it could be a day later, hours later, what have you, and you could pick up then.
Yeah.
Maybe something could have happened in that interim that is of note that made you come back to the letter.
Yeah, you definitely see that like significant time has passed, and then the letter picks up again and says, I hear your seafaring friend might be on a tour near home soon. Looking forward to seeing you at another event this season. Persephone.
From Her Grace Helena, Duchess Pembroke, to the Honorable Nora de Maurier, written near Carlisle. My dear Nora, while I understand that London would be simply impossible at this time of year, I still don't understand why you chose to bury yourself in the country near Bath, when you could have gone with us on a tour of the Lake Country with I and my husband. Why and this goes on for several pages. And then there's a page at the back. Nora, understand that you've had the most frightful row with P. I did not spend my considerable talents and social capital to extricate you from a situation simply for you to revert to the sort of behavior that one finds in tuppenny broadsheets that are marketed to the carriage trade. If you wish to ever continue your family, I assure you now is the time to find yourself an appropriate husband. Had you come to the Lake Country, the sheer number of off-duty lieutenants and Scottish lairds I could have tossed your way would have been such a prodigious catch as would have embarrassed several of the evangelists. Please come and attend me upon my return to the countryside. I trust that you are still in enough possession of your senses to destroy this after you've read it. Yours very worriedly, Helena.
I feel comfortable doing a letter in response to that. To my worried friend, I hope to allay your fears with this, but I have actually managed to secure someone who I think you might find suitable as a suitor. And I would love for you to come and meet him at your earliest convenience. P and I, again, the ... I do not know, it crossed out, it struck through. I do not know what you heard about P and I, but as it stands, we are on generally good terms and plan to see each other over the season publicly, but no plans to do so privately. Affectionately yours, Nora.
And I am trying to write to Miss Lefebvre, Celeste. So I wrote it because I won't remember salient points otherwise. But dear Mademoiselle Lefebvre, I learned from our mutual acquaintance, Mr. O'Shannon, that you have not been keeping well. Distraught as I am to hear this news, I'm very hopeful that this is just our inclement weather that is causing this illness and there is no more long-term implication of it to your health. I do remain hopeful that you will return to the English capital in the pinkest of healths with all of your famous red velvet suitcases. Please do not hesitate to call upon me should you need any help, although I must say, I being a gentleman, do not possess the best of bedside manners. In hope of your speedy recovery, sincerely, Marmaduke. Notice I did not say yours, because I don't want it to be misinterpreted. So he's just trying to figure out what's going on. If she is going to come, she's going to make a comeback. Is she really with child?
So, dear Marmaduke Huckleberry, As you and I happen to be apparently the only eligible bachelors in this town for the season, I feel it is important for us to make a more studied acquaintance. Um, do not fear my words. I am not going to propose any sort of duel or other combat. Though I am martial, I would prefer to be marital. In the interest of creating and increasing conviviality between you and I would propose an old-fashioned gentleman smoker or other gay yet perfectly natural and masculine affair between us. Um, I am in town for the entire season until I get my posting, and I remain yours, Lieutenant Dunwoody.
So can I respond to that letter?
Absolutely, it would be your second letter, but go right ahead. You get two.
Okay. And bear with me. I do need to get the Dear Lieutenant Dunwoody, received your letter. I am thrilled to have made your acquaintance. I think we hit it off quite well, and I cannot agree with you more. It does not serve any man to have this rivalry among the suitable bachelors, as you and I are undoubtedly looking for a soulmate this season. I would love to take you to accept your invitation to a gentleman smoker. Please do let me know the date and time. The Drones Club is always very welcoming, and it's second home to me. Sincerely yours, Marmaduke.
Oh, very well. I think I have something. The family could not keep Bertie inside all the time. At some point, he certainly had to go away to London on some business or other, I'm sure. And he, upon arriving in London, finds a note from Nora packed in with his things. Lieutenant Dunwoody, I expect you to be on your very best behavior. I have taught you many things in these past few weeks while you stayed with my family, and I trust that you are quite ready to enter into society in London. I do wish you all the best, and you have my love. Nora.
To Lieutenant Dunwoody, from the Groves near the Haversham High Road, from Miss Lucy O'Shannon. My dear Lieutenant, if you have heard rumors of my change of address, they are confirmed, I think you will find by receipt of this letter. I would have stayed at dear Lady Persephone's, but I discovered that I should soon be bankrupt if I accepted her hospitality much longer. 'Tis a preoccupation of the rich to live in such style that their guests are both awestruck and soon impoverished. And rather than throw myself upon her gentle mercies, I thought it best to make some excuse of needing the air and quiet for my artistic preparation. I am quite comfortable here. I have but the one servant. She is a superannuated charwoman who lives in the village. She refuses my entreaties to simply stay over, as we have an extra room. Something about it not being worthy of the dignity of such a fine lady. I don't understand it, as it takes her 6 hours to get here from the village, and she cleans the place in but 4. But I progress. As for my artistic achievements, you may have heard that I will be in a production I do strongly recommend you not attend. I have been forced, under the advice of my man of business and theatrical agent, considering the dire straits that my current pocketbook finds itself in, to accept yet more farcical endeavors. I am apparently in some sort of national pageant. I am playing Boudica against a frightful blonde who is apparently Jeanne d'Arc. It is absolutely as appalling as it sounds. Though I must say that the pasteboard chariots for the Trojan invasion of Great Britain are at least show some fanciful faculty of imagination. I do hope that we shall have a chance to resume our acquaintance, should you be so endeavored as to ride nearly half a county over, or perhaps we shall run into one another at one of the innumerable country balls where we can remark about how bored we both are, and perhaps attempt to see how many different meters the musicians can attempt to perform within the same measure of a piece. Yours very amicably, Lucio Shannon.
So are you no longer staying with me? Just to
I am no longer staying with you. It was too expensive to stay for free at your place.
What are you talking about? I'm a wonderful host.
You are. You certainly spend money like you don't have it.
I don't. Well, then in that case, I write a letter to you. You would be Miss O'Shannon, right? To the estimable Miss O'Shannon. I understand that there might be many reasons why you need to go and prepare yourself for your upcoming performance. However, I want to crossed out. I believe that we share something in common. A relative, family root, so to speak, that is at times a poisonous one. My uncle and his gambling habits are no secret. And I think if you ever need anything, you will find a friend in me. And then in the next paragraph, there's like, also, who did they cast as your Joan? Is anyone else in the cast worth anything? Is it just you? Is it worth seeing? You know, like that kind of line of questioning. Uh, and then yours, Persephone.
I believe that's everybody, yes? All right, fantastic. We got through, guys. Well done. Welcome to Upkeep. So we have a couple things we need to do in Upkeep. One of which I barely remember, but I think it's everybody gets a resolve token, which means some of us are going to have a lot. But I get one back, so at least I'm doing okay. Next, we have some new connections, and we should assign people to play them. So let's see. We have Cassandra Huckleberry, the mother of Marmaduke. We have Abigail Dysart, the second cousin of Bertie Dunwoody, who thinks he's a fine young man and would marry him herself if she didn't have 7 husbands. That's fantastic. Or do you want to go with Lambert Cocknell? I think right now we could probably bear one more connection each. So I'm going to leave that up to you, Liam.
I don't. Depends on what our next direction is.
Okay. Well, then I guess that's something we'll have to discuss. Finally, striding upon the great stage of history, Celeste Lefebvre, who is my connection and definitely not making my life any happier. G. Walford.
I have just started to build this person now, so I did
Okay.
not have a name yet.
That's fine. Why don't you work on that a smidge? And Lady Wilhelmina Walcott. Fantastic.
I'm thinking that she's a high-born lady who's related to me distantly, who is useless. She's terrible at conversation. She is narcoleptic, so she'll fall asleep randomly. But she's beautiful and really well connected. But she's an idiot, and just like nobody wants to spend time with her. But she's like really pretty, and just kind of floats around the world. She floats around the upper classes without a care in the world. A very sickly, frail thing.
Our visitor from planet Thackeray.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if folks figure this out. The other thing that we will have to do on upkeep is if people have not used their monologue tokens, they're going to have to use them now. So that'll be fun. So monologue tokens. You spend your monologue token to make another character monologue. It has to be a main character. Nobody cares what the connections you're thinking. I mean, we care, but we don't care. I think we have had some monologue action. I know that somebody monologued. Yes, Preston spent their monologue token to make. Who was it?
It was me, I think.
Percy. Yep.
Yeah.
So the rest of us will have to do that. And when you ask for a monologue, you can ask for a subject, or you can leave it up to whoever you're giving the token to.
And monologue tokens are separate from.
Yeah, they're different than resolve tokens.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, the monologue token represents the potential to ask somebody else to monologue.
And let me point out that Lieutenant Cockle is ideal for if we go towards the towards London and the Drones Club, and Abigail Dysart is in town.
Do we like that idea of maybe like the next novel chapter will be London during the winter season? It is tradition that a Jane Austen novel has at least some part set in London during the winter.
Yes, and that would give us a good excuse to do the pushed into the lake, and it's dangerous.
You can get pushed into the Serpentine?
I have a question, and it's a very newbie question.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I'm just trying to understand how these resolve tokens work. I see that some of us have few and some of us have very many.
Yes.
So what does that mean? And
so
the character is about to be like resolved? Is that what it means?
No, it's supposed to, I guess, measure your resolve to do something. So the theory behind resolve tokens is ultimately to make people who haven't played a lot of role-playing games know how they can influence the story. That's like the meta. The actual mechanic of how it works is that if you want to make someone do something, or if you want something to appear in the story that is a major change, or especially if it's a change that might inconvenience someone, then you will use a resolve token. And if it will impinge another major character's interests, then you're supposed to offer them the resolve token and say, like, here's a resolve token that Percy misses her coach and can't get to the ball before Nora meets handsome dude. And that would be, so what you would be doing there is you would be offering Talia that token to make this bad thing happen. And it would be up to her what to do next. She could say, sure, yes, please, that sounds amazing. Give me the resolve token. She could say, yes, but only if, like, handsome dude spills punch on himself so he looks kind of ridiculous. Or but yes, but only if Marmaduke is also stranded, that kind of thing. And then you guys can negotiate. And she does also have the option to say, no, I don't want that. I really like to get there on time. In which case, the resolve token stays where it is. Resolve tokens don't have to be exchanged. They frequently are. Like if you wanted to just say something like, oh, but what if it was raining when they went out on the lawn? And that's probably enough for a resolve token. The problem will come in, and like this would be a good example, is a table where it's sort of mixed. So like me and Preston and probably Liam were all like, please step on our characters. We like it. And so resolve tokens tend to pile up in our games, but they're fine to use that way. They're fine to use any way you want. So whether or not people have a ton of them can mostly means that people did things to them that gave them that. And so theoretically, the idea is that it should balance out the spotlight time so that the people who accept their lumps can come back and have their interests win out later on. That's basically it.
Got you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good thing because it teaches people how to like negotiate a story which is good in a game that doesn't have a central authority like this one. Yeah, if we had a DM saying, "Well, at the ball you meet 2 orcs," that would be very different. Which I understand is a thing. I don't watch a lot of actual plays, except mine, because I'm that pathetic. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on Lambert, so I mean on Abby.
Yeah.
So I think we could bring Lambert in instead.
Sure. That makes sense. Alrighty then. So I'm thinking about it, and like Talia, I think you would do a good job with it, but honestly, Preston, would you mind playing Celeste? Because we need some
yes.
horrible monster bitch, and
Yes.
But oh yeah, no, I can't be me. I'm already Michael. I can't be Celeste.
I mean, you could, but let's.
No. It doesn't work that way.
Whatever do you mean?
I need a fan.
Well, my
Yeah.
dear, I remember your multiple science fiction drag queens, so
I can take Celeste, certainly.
if you would like, if you want to like throw it back at me, I'll play Gilbert if you want.
You're already playing my other connection.
Oh, that's
so you
right, I
cannot.
am. So I really shouldn't. Oh well, I'm off the hook.
Who wants to be a poet? and my most adamant suitor.
This is Megan's. There's nothing romantic about running around Italy in a big shirt trying to get laid.
Would it be too much if I was your poet?
That would be interesting,
As
but
well as
Yeah.
we might
That's
want to
too
see
much.
scenes when the two of you are fighting over her.
Oh yeah, with
so
Right.
Persephone and Gilbert together.
probably it should be either
Yes.
Liam or Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to be a poet waxing about your beauty.
I like that. Yeah. And you don't have to be a good poet. I just said he thinks he is a good poet.
Yes, coming from Marmaduke, I doubt if I can get even a word of poetry edgewise, but I'll try.
I wandered lonely as a cloud on a something.
Yeah, she walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes. Yeah, maybe I can plagiarize from Byron.
There you go.
So who's next? We have Celeste and Gilbert.
Yeah, I
Into.
guess I think I have to play the lieutenant, don't I?
Yeah, you could play
Because otherwise
Marmaduke's
it would be Talia,
mom.
and Talia's already playing Captain Fitzwilliam.
Right. You have
Right.
It has to be you.
Yeah.
It
It has
doesn't
to be you.
have to, but it probably makes the most sense. As far as I know, there's zero prohibition against playing both connections. It just seems suboptimal. I mean, theoretically speaking, if we were in like a traditionally facilitated game, I would not have a main character and I would be playing all the connections. But why would I want to do that? I'm an enormous ham. And that, I guess, means that Talia, you're playing Mama Huckleberry.
So that makes me Lady Wilhelmina.
I guess
Okay.
it does.
A silly, frail girl.
Yes.
But you're young. I mean, we shouldn't hold it against you. You're 19.
Well. All those years at the convent didn't help.
She's better than I ever could have imagined.
For some stupid reason, I'm picturing the girl that Sam Lower's mom tries to make make him date, in
Yes.
Brazil. You remember what I'm thinking about in Brazil?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking a little bit more Shelley Duvall, but yes.
Yeah. Oh, Shelley Duvall also works. It's like, don't worry, I don't like you either.
Yes.
Uh,
All right, folks. Monologue. Who wants to monologue? Or rather, who wants to hear a monologue? Get your red hots right here. Preston, you're going to be on the hook. So theoretically, tradition would demand that it would be Talia who goes first. As the
yeah,
tradition.
I want a monologue from O'Shannon.
Okay. In Rayqua. What is it? What do you want to hear about?
Gosh, just like what you're thinking. I mean, this is kind of meta. I want to know what's going on in the head of Lucy O'Shannon before the show, before the rest of the season, what she wants.
I think it's dusk in her little cottage. Yeah. We say it's a little broken down cottage by English gentry standards, so it's got like 3 bedrooms and a nice garden and a trellis with creeping vines. It's quite nice. It's just old. It's sort of like dusk. It's like been a ragged, stormy day, and the sunset's finally breaking through, and she's sitting in her bedroom at her vanity. There's a pile of bills on there, and she's like going through them and like counting out coins, and then shaking her head. And she tosses down the bill and picks up a letter from Bertie, and she just sits there, and it's like, it wouldn't be a brilliant match. It would barely qualify as a match. I should set my sights higher. And yet, there's something about you, Bertie. I don't know if it's because we're aliens in this alien land, or simply you're the only person I feel comfortable talking to among this entire rotted aristocracy I find myself a member in. 'Tis a pity I'm so poor. 'Tis a pity that you are now about 143rd on the commander's list. Ah, 'tis a pity. And finally, reluctantly, she picks up a script. It's like piled on top of her copy. It's a pity she's a whore. She picks up the like it's the 19th century equivalent of like Bedeca versus Joan of Arc. like the only way it could be worse if it was like Mecha Joan of Arc. She just sighs as she goes over the dialogue and makes some corrections with a pencil. Well, now, it just seems to me that the only thing I could do then is to ask for Bertie to monologue. I was thinking in particular of your thoughts after that day when they accidentally on purpose met while out riding.
This is a day later, or a few days later. It's raining, which is normal. The oldest person in the Du Maurier household is in the sitting room with tea, and I am sitting next to them. They are stone deaf, so they make a perfect person to talk to. I am unsure of their name or indeed gender insofar as they are wrapped in lots of blankets and robes. And they are so old as to kind of can't tell anymore who they are. Everyone just refers to them as the aged Du Maurier, and that's how this begins. Would you like some tea? Right. Well, I don't know what to do. I don't suppose you could give me any advice. It's rather difficult being here and on the land. So many different rocks, reefs to beach one's ship upon. I have no idea of the sounding or where to find harbor. I shouldn't bore you with speech, but I don't have anyone else to talk to here. Everyone is so incredibly critical. Always telling me, Bertie, don't say that. Bertie, say more. Bertie, don't drink like that. Bertie, you must drink in this other fashion, which seems almost identical. I don't see what the problem is. I came here expecting to find an easy match with Persephone, or at the very least, some sort of match with Nora. I mean, for heaven's sake, I'm literally staying with the woman. We're related, so that means that the money shall stay within the family, and you would expect to have people from both sides approve. Instead, in this wilderness, meet this actress, the only person nice to me at all. Captain Fitzwilliam has told me that I must marry well and marry someone who can manage my political career while it, well, sure. Persephone just seems to spit vitriol, and Nora doesn't seem to be interested in anything of the kind. Persephone seems to need my money, and Nora couldn't care less. Actually, Lucy hasn't even asked about my prize money at all. Well, I have very little to wager as far as reputation and career goes. I am where I am and will eventually, even at half pay, get a ship of some kind. I have my prize money, and I expect I can make any choice I want.
Dare I ask, as that was literally spoken aloud, if I can give a resolve token from Nora to Bertie to have overheard that as she was passing the room,
Uh,
or at
you
least part of it?
you absolutely can, but you have to come up with some reason why she is not supposed to be in the house. It's supposed to be like the least visible of the servants and the aged du Maurier.
Oh, in this part of the house in general?
In the house at all. Like, for whatever reason, you were out. You're
Mm,
supposed to be out.
I think.
Why did you come back?
I mean, the traditional. Oh, I forgot something. I think is the easiest answer, and
You left your gloves in the parlor.
forgot the umbrella. Yeah,
Yeah, forgot the umbrella. Exactly. It's raining. Yes.
and they got about halfway there, and it really started coming down. And she's like, "Well, I will never be able to get out of the coach in this," so she came all the way back.
Yep. All right.
Well,
I have all of the resolve tokens.
and the responsibility to call the next tune. Who would you like to hear
Oh
monologue?
dear. I want to hear Persephone monologue. Unless has she already? She hasn't.
Not in this round. I can go, right? I could go again. It's been long enough since I monologued last.
You
Yeah.
monologue. You can't monologue again.
Oh, okay.
No. You did monologue?
Yes,
Well,
that's
at the
that's
very
the
beginning.
little gray box is checked. I've been
Session
trying to,
one.
Right.
Session
My
one. I
God.
asked for a
but
monologue.
so Nora and Marmaduke have not monologued.
It'd be best to do Marmaduke so that Marmaduke
Yeah.
can complete the circle by asking
Should
or
have
something.
Marmaduke monologue then, yes. On what? I have no idea.
Worldly worries for Marmaduke. I think Marmaduke is slipped off again to London, sitting. Maybe this is like nighttime. The other drones members have basically are so inebriated that there's no one around. They're just dozing it off. And Marmaduke is sitting with his feet up on the table, blowing smoke circles, and saying to himself, the plot thickens. I have several worries on my mind. I know mother and father will be coming and asking me about as to my progress anytime, and progress have made none. There's absolutely nothing that I've achieved. It's high time that I tap these connections that I've made and see if I can meet a beautiful young woman of title that can help me get access to those £10,000 that my father was telling me about. And then my thoughts shift to Celeste, and I'm thinking, I wrote to Celeste, but didn't quite hear back from her. I wonder if the rumors are true. What if she's with child? What if she accuses me? And Ballyrot, I just don't remember what happened between the two of us. I've always been drunk in that woman's company. She has the knack of just getting me drunk and completely sloshed. I'm never sober around her and never can tell if she has helped herself to the contents of my wallet or the seeds of my loin. I do not know. And I keep thinking, and then the third thought that I have is around, well, at least I have some male company. I really like this lieutenant from the Navy, and he seems like a jolly good chap. I'm so relieved that he doesn't want to duel with me, but wants to come and have perhaps a parlor game or game of snookers or something like that. And it'd be nice to get some inside, some conversation, some camaraderie going, so that we can perhaps divide and conquer this field. It's just getting too weird, and there's just no air. And then I keep blowing those smoke circles.
Well, I guess you get to call Nora's monologue then.
So I get to call any player. Sorry, I'm learning this. So I can.
No, the only person left who hasn't monologued is Preston.
Oh.
So you can ask for a monologue from Nora about whatever subject you would like.
Yeah, I would like to hear Nora's musings on Dunwoody. It seems to have taken to him, and I wonder how she feels about Dunwoody. Is she has she just taken to him just as a poor waif who's come into social circles, or is it more of a budding romance? Does that make sense, Nora? Yeah. Okay.
Let's set it after let's set this after Nora comes in from her post-church walk with Persephone. And Nora, in a bit of a slight rush into the house, gets off her things, asks the servants to not disturb her for a while, goes into her room, closes her door, flops down the bed. Oh my goodness. Well, this is quite a to-do, and of course not saying any of this aloud, just thinking to herself, but in such a state, and I don't know how I can help Persephone more than just by offering what I have. And oh my goodness, my cousin is just, I fear he's even worse than the lieutenant. He has the impeccable timing of, oh goodness, what awful creature from literature can I conjure up in this moment? Of Hela coming upon Zeus in one of his misdeeds. Oh, I know Father has talked to me many times about potentially trying to court that one, and he would see me with him, but Mother and I both agree that it is probably not for the best. We've seen his true nature, and Oh, that one will need someone who can take a heavy hand to him. And I am not that person. No, I think it is time that I took it upon myself to see after some of these other suitors. I think it is time. And Nora stands up, crosses the room to the window, throws it open. I think it is time for something new.
Cool. So, novel chapter time. This is and I think cutting to London sounds fun. We've never seen the inside of the Drones Club, really. So I'm trying to think. There's a couple possibilities. One, would the Drones Club allow some of our lady characters in? I think it was implied that it did. But
Sorry, I got kicked out.
yeah, no, it's okay. So does the Drones Club allow women, some of the time, or how does this work?
I think that women are not allowed inside the club except for at the reception. But they do have like a grand reception where you can order drinks and sit, and this is where everyone's disgruntled aunt shows up with a hunting crop to beat the stuffing out of their nephews. I like PG Woodhouse. So yeah, I don't know if that cuts it. Like, there's a huge room I'm imagining with very tall, like 18 feet French doors, and marble floors, and butlers and footmen carrying like tall glasses of drinks, and obviously you can smoke, so that there are all these people hiding behind London Times, smoking their cigars, or vapid youths sitting and slapping each other's backs, lighting cigarettes and playing pranks on each other.
So I was thinking, that's good, because we could have done a split chapter and ventured into that territory. But what I'm thinking is we could do a pseudo split chapter. Like maybe we could see the boys at their smoker, and then they can come out to greet the female guests who arrive, because Lucy is currently triumphing after a rather mixed review for "'Tis a Pity She's a Whore," but she's triumphing as Kate she's in Mr. Oliver Goldsmith's well-beloved comedy She Stoops to Conquer. So she can arrive after the show, which means we could also set brief scenes at the theater before that happens. So we could be cutting back and forth between, and then bring everybody together for this grand reception at the Drones Club. So London, somewhere in the first decade of the 19th century, an icy London night, deep pools of shadow outside, but inside the Drones Club, all is well and merry. Where shall we pick up? What shall we see first? This sounds like a job for a lot of the connections, so maybe it's time we see some of these guys. Maybe Duke Davrincourt and our good friend the Lieutenant Cockrell and Captain Fitzwilliam, and of course Marmaduke.
Yeah, so the grand old Duke is catching up with a bunch of friends at the club, but at the moment, let's say he is snoozing behind his London Times, in a nice, very comfortable chair, with his drink, his gin and tonic left unfinished on the side. And you could see Marmaduke overlook, basically looking out the window in some pensive lost way, and sees Lieutenant Cockell. Cockell, is that right? Cocknell. Coming up from the Grosvenor Square entrance. And so, what's his first name? Cocknell?
Lambert.
Lambert. And he somehow happens to know Lambert because they were at Eton together. And then he.
Oh God, I'm that guy. Oh jeez.
Yes, you. And then obviously he's the air of drones. The drones is very jocular, so they just basically there's no formalities among friends, and then he just says "Sailor ahoy," and just basically trying to irritate the good lieutenant who doesn't really like being ahoyed from a distance.
Well, my goodness, if it isn't Mr. Huckleberry. Last I remember you were face down on the field of Eton.
Was I? Ah.
Well, as I recall, a bit of an open field tackle delivered by me. It's good to see you again, Huckleberry.
Good to see you, good lieutenant.
Ah, for the moment. And he reaches into his pocket and tosses up in the air a gold epaulet. Between you and me, I'll be getting a third rate and sailing for the American waters. Apparently, they're getting it into their heads to support Boney on the continent somehow.
Oh, my boy, well done, well done. Show those American girls what our British young men are like. Seduce a million of them.
Perhaps one day we shall once again wave the flag of civilization over our poor benighted American cousins.
So one hopes, yes.
Well, don't get
our help.
Don't get ahead of yourself. If everybody knows I've been promoted, I'll have to buy drinks all around, and it costs me more than enough to get the promotion, if you understand what I mean, Huckleberry. Stand a drink, old man.
Just chalk it up to the good old Duke here. He's so sozzled. He's not likely to notice.
No. Between you and me, I'm at 500 quid to his grace. I was told he never wins, but
well, let me let you in on a secret, my friend. His grace is on his path to utter disgrace because he's been losing his shirt on so many bets I have lost track.
Perhaps he's lost track of my IOU. That would be very useful. My goodness. Is that little Bertie Dunwoody?
So it seems. Ahoy!
Oh, you're being
ahoy,
ahoyed,
ahoy.
Bertie. You're being ahoyed.
Yes, hello. Lieutenant Cockle. Good to see you again.
For the moment, old man, for the moment.
What brings you here
What are you doing on land? I thought with that prize money, you'd for sure have gotten something by now.
Well, nothing at all. I write and I write and I write and no one writes back.
You write?
Yes.
To
the Admiralty.
You don't attend balls. You don't speak to your members of Parliament.
Members of. Is that done? Is that a thing?
One must take whatever advantages one can get if one wants to make post, Bertie, like some of us.
I expect one should. I'm terribly sorry, Lieutenant. I just have I had no idea at all. Balls, you say?
Well, if you're still on shore, old man, perhaps I'll have a spot for a second.
A second? Well, that would be lovely.
Oh, I've spoken. I'm already spoken for my first lieutenant, but
no, not at all.
Perhaps, or sailing master if you're not too busy.
I have literally nothing to do. It is maddening, and I put my foot in my mouth every third word I find.
All that prize money and you're not married yet, Bertie? I would have thought you would have married some money to replenish it.
I have looked for money, and I have looked for lack thereof, and I have found no woman attached to either.
Oh. I assure you, I was conducting 2 simultaneous campaigns, and had the one with the Viscountess worked, then I should not have needed to try and make post.
Well, I suppose romantic luck is not evenly divvied out to everyone.
No. Just because he knew Bloody Nelson. Everybody knows Bloody Nelson. But he was closer to him. I thought you would have leveraged that advantage, Bertie.
Again, I do what I can, but it just seems, well, I mean, I wouldn't want to put myself forward, you know. Wouldn't want to seem too prideful. That's what they say in the good book.
Everybody who is in command of more than a rowboat at Trafalgar's been promoted, except you, Bertie.
But I took those 2 prizes, and I commanded the entire ship when Captain Fitzwilliam went down. I only lost 1 Marine.
Hmm.
That was because he slipped.
Well,
My fault.
apparently the Admiralty doesn't realize that. Perhaps you should have taken out a space in the Times or something.
The degree to which Mammon has infected this particular society, which I thought had to do with merit and not birth.
Bertie, we're not the army. You must have merit to rise to a position in the Royal Navy, whereupon you can make your fortune by taking hapless French prizes. You must have the. You're under the misapprehension that we're supposed to be cavaliers of the sea when the British reputation at sea is entirely built on piracy, my old man.
I mean, I'm fully aware of what we've had to do to get here.
Are you though? Tell me, Bertie, are you still a bad snooker player?
I'm not sure I've ever actually had the occasion to play snooker.
Oh, well then shall we go and play a game? Small stakes, perhaps a quid a game.
So what is the snook that one manipulates for this
Think of it-
game?
Think of it as an advanced course in trigonometry.
I did fairly well in trigonometry, and certainly my navigation charts are nothing to sniff at. Let's go.
Huckleberry, why don't you come along and use the Bank of England, as we used to call Bertie back in his card playing days.
And at this point in time, Marmaduke, who's been watching this interaction, feels badly for Lieutenant Dunwoody, because he knows that his old friend is going to take him to the cleaners. So he wants to interject, and he also wants to give him some heart. So he just says, my dear Lieutenant, or my dear Lieutenants, Lieutenant Dunwoody has come here on my invitation. I just wanted to show him around the Drones Club, and poor guy, I want to introduce him to as many fellows as I can. So, may I give you a tour of the club? Maybe perhaps in lieu of the snookers game.
Huh.
Like to save him, or unless you feel Lieutenant, what's the gentleman's name? Cockle.
Well, how can I say no, Huckleberry, when you're going to show us such kind affection and have already offered to give us a bottle of claret in the bargain?
But he didn't, did he? Whoa! Right.
Okay. Well, but let me tell you, the Navy is the tricky one, because my Uncle Marshall apparently happened to know Lord Nelson as well, but somehow he got booted out of the Navy. He actually served right next to Lord Nelson on his flagship, HMS Victory, but we don't know what happened. And he's just playing innocent. So, my dear Lieutenant Cockle and Dunwoody, don't don't think that it all is well with the Royal Navy. And then he's just basically just making some conversation that's nonsensical, and then takes them around and says, "Well, since you have been here, my dear fellow, Cockle, but Dunwoody has never seen this club. Let me show you the bridge table where you'll see all of our mates are passed out because they've been snorting cocaine. I don't know, or whatever, or smoking opium."
My goodness.
So, and then he just goes on to show all those.
Did they smoke the opium before or after the first rubber? And just asking, curiosity. Medicinal.
Many of them have done so in despair of many a lost game. And my dear Cockle, I know you will do so well here with all these addle-headed, addle-brained young men who will be only too happy to open their wallets to you. So I'm just trying to kind of deflect attention from Dunwoody so that you go find.
Oh yeah, no, Cockle will definitely toddle off towards the gaming table with pound signs in his eyes.
And as he does so, I look at Lieutenant Dunwoody and say, "My dear fellow, I'm so glad you could come. Do you have a seat? Do you have a seat? Would you like a gin and tonic?"
Oh, it would be lovely.
"Well, Alfred, get Lieutenant Dunwoody a gin and tonic." And then Alfred comes and he says he just walks like he's walking on air, and brings you a. It's already at the ready. Somehow the gin and tonic, is consumed in copious quantities. So he just brings a tall glass of gin and tonic to you, and he puts it down and then disappears just as noiselessly. And then I want to broach this topic. I want to understand what prompted the letter and why you're trying to befriend me. Vapid and lost in my own world as I am. I'm also somehow, I have like half of my rattling brain is telling me that there is maybe something up your sleeve. So I want to kind of find out. So I say to the lieutenant, Lieutenant, I was happy to read you wish to cultivate my acquaintance and be friends with me, and this is a good start. I always welcome a good fellow into the fold of the Drones Club. But do tell me, I hear that you've come into money, huge sum of money as prize for your gallantry. How do you intend to invest that money? And are you looking for a suitable bride for yourself?
In short, yes. Captain Fitzwilliam had advised me that the best thing for a Navy man was to have an advocate who was still living on land near the Admiralty, who could entertain different people in the Admiralty, get better posting, etc., etc. And he recommended that I find a wife as soon as possible, and said that the amount of money that I had from my prizes would certainly be able to make me, well, one of the most eligible bachelors nearly anywhere I go. And yet I find that is not the case.
My dear fellow, may I inquire as to the sum of money you have in the bank that you received as your prize?
Oh, wow. It like either pause for several hours while I do the research, or we'll just say it's a fairly large amount of money. It's the cost of, it's like probably, it's a fraction of the cost of the construction of 2 entire ships of war. So it's fairly large, not necessarily larger than your actual fortune at all, probably not even close, but probably at least a few times your yearly allowance, your expected yearly allowance.
Oh, that is splendid. Well done. Well done. I'm glad to hear that Her Majesty's Navy pays so handsomely by the time
it's the
Navy.
It has to do with the cost of the ships you take in. I mean, it's not, and we all share equally. Well, we share depending on rate. So at the time, I was rated enough to get that much. But if I get my promotion, well, with my promotion now, I should be rated a little bit higher, and we'll be able to get even more once I get another ship and can take more ships. That's just really how it works.
Capital. So as I see you going off to taking your bride by your side at sea, I wonder if yours will be mainly a nautical life, or are you looking to settle down and buy some estate?
Oh, I honestly I hadn't even thought of that. And my bride will not be coming to sea with me. That wouldn't be allowed on the Navy. No, I expect well, she'll have my money. She can do with it what she
And your
will want.
children. And look after
Hmm?
your children. Pray do tell me,
Yes.
how do you feel about my cousin, Miss Du Maurier?
Oh, I love Nora. Nora's such a sweet, sweet thing. But she has nothing but scorn for me.
Why do you say so?
Uh,
I
Because
I
she
hear
cut.
her speaking very highly of you. She thinks that you are a gallant man, and I think hers is a very wealthy family. It could be a
Her,
suitable match for you.
she has nothing. She has nothing but scorn to say for me. In the time she gives me, so she tells me I am inept at this, and I shouldn't be writing in this other manner, and my ties are all over the place. I don't know. So if she does share any affection for me, I think she should show it personally.
But my dear sir, do you look upon her favorably? And if so, I might be able to intervene on your behalf.
Well, I mean, well, I don't really know. I honestly just expected I would show up and would be presented with women, and then I would pick, and then that would be that. Uh,
My dear lieutenant, you're not a worldly man, are you?
no, not at all.
And then, as Marmaduke is a fickle, vapid young man. He has, like, the Regency era version of ADHD. His thoughts drift away, and then he's basically unable to hold a conversation anymore, and he's just kind of lost. And
But Marmaduke, I did ask you very specifically to have the pleasure of your acquaintance insofar as Katsukes, it is lonely there. There is no one to talk to. I am shut up in that house. Nora won't let me out at all because I'm going to embarrass her again. I would love to talk to Persephone. I haven't talked to her since I was, I don't know, 8 years old. I would love to speak with Lucy, and apparently I made some damn foolish decision to be seen riding with her without a chaperone or something. Uh, I like you speak of this other woman who you had been talking to. There's also the Countess and there's the Duchess, and like I have no way to get to know any of these people without being let out by Nora.
I think there
I
is.
think
I see your predicament, and I have a similar one. Although I know many of these young ladies and they might look upon me favorably because of my position in society, I haven't really made any connection. And I would really love to meet all of them. I think the answer to that is going to be some sort of a ball or a gala.
yes,
Maybe
but
I.
how does one do such a thing?
Hmm. Well, it just requires a little bit of money and a nice venue, and then you just invite people. And maybe I should ask my mama and papa if they would like to sponsor a ball for all of us.
Well, that would be
We could
capital.
also invite some of these chappies from the Drones Club to keep it very light-hearted and fun.
Well, I expect so. Who wouldn't want to have all these incredibly rich young men with nothing to do at a party? I'm so happy to have made your acquaintance, Marmaduke,
Likewise, my dear
and I
fellow.
would love to be able to call you friend.
You may, of course, and I count upon your friendship. Um, please do, please do take me to the side and let me know if you if you happen to notice any young lady of suitable title and suitable family background at the ball that I should be courting. And I help you and you help me, and together we succeed.
Absolutely. This is such a wonderful meeting.
Be my guest.
What was that?
Enjoy
What was that?
the club.
What was that game you mentioned earlier?
Oh, you mean
Snookums?
Edge
No,
or
no.
Snookers?
Snooker. Yes, that's it. What is it exactly?
Oh, my dear fellow, I wouldn't go even near the table, especially when your friend Lieutenant Cockle is around. He will surely take you to the cleaners. I have seen him. He is bloody. Is a good shot, and he will. It's a game that you play with a stick, and um, try to pot some balls, and people place wagers on who wins, and they usually the whole idea of that is to help themselves of the contents of your wallet. So I would highly advise you, unless you are a skilled player, to stay away. Many a lad at the Drones Club has gotten into serious financial trouble by indulging at these games tables. I don't personally mind, because my mama and papa have always taken care of my debt. I usually send all my debtors to them, and somehow they magically disappear. But unless you are sure of that kind of magic trick, I wouldn't go near the tables.
Thank you so much for the advice, Marmaduke. I can't thank you enough. Please, any further people I would love to meet.
Oh, let's see. Who's at the Drones Club today?
And then I think we can.
Yeah, perhaps we should cut to the reception room where some of the ladies are beginning to arrive. Like, maybe this will be the first time Nora and Percy have seen each other in a while.
Percy is very sensibly dressed for the winter weather. And I think is just sort of like they're maybe earlier than Nora is, just like having a drink to the side. Oh, and she's talking to. Is this a time to bring in more connections?
Yeah.
She's talking to a young lady, a beautiful young lady, Lady Wilhelmina.
Hello.
Hello, dear. It's good to see you. Really, I'm glad that you could come out to this little event. I hoped to see more of you this season. Perhaps you'll come and visit me in the country.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to get out of London. So terribly
Yes, and
chilly
a girl like you need the air, I'm sure, with your disposition.
Yes, they tell me you have plenty of vegetables out there.
My dear, yes, we do. Plenty of vegetables.
Yes, the doctor has prescribed them. I'm not allowed to have any of the the ones with the O's in their name, but I am allowed to have the other ones. In any case, he's written it all up for me.
Well, certainly. Have your physician send your requirements to our chef. We'll make sure everything is perfect. I'm
Yes, it
sorry.
absolutely
My
is.
dog wants to be involved. He's Rocky. It's okay.
No, I think that's the sound effect is like Lady Wilhelmina's pugs.
Yes. Like shush, shush, shush.
Yes, exactly.
Nora, you have to come in and save this.
And then from across the room, entering, you hear a lady's voice that you have not heard in some time. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely frightful out there. I really do wish I had stayed home, but uh, well, she was absolutely insistent that I come in to spend at least some of the holiday with her. And I am, oh goodness. She sees across the room.
Oh, Persephone, someone has espied us.
Ah, indeed. Someone has espied us. Yes. Uh, this is a friend of mine, Nora, du Maurier.
Um,
And Nora, this is Lady Wilhelmina Walcott.
yes, charmed, I'm sure.
It's lovely to meet you, Miss
Wait,
Walcott.
you are of the southern Demoriers, am I correct?
That would be correct, yes.
Ah,
Lady Persephone and I reside in at least one of her estates.
okay. Is it the town of Blank?
It is, yes.
I've heard so much of the town of Blank.
You shall have to come the next time Lady Persephone throws a ball. I hear she is planning a grand one.
I am indeed.
Oh, oh, well, charming. Let's go. I haven't been to a ball in ages.
Of course. And if I may, what gentlemen are the two of you ladies waiting for?
Oh, excellent question.
Or are they just hanging out at the Drones Club waiting to see who shows?
We're just here checking the scene, feeling the vibes. I think we were invited at one point by Marmaduke, weren't we?
Sure.
So yes. I say, oh,
I,
Marmaduke, the dear Dookie invited us to come at one point, and I was curious about the architecture of the building.
Dookie's here.
Oh
He
yes,
did,
this is his club. Famously, you didn't know that about him.
no, I very much knew that he frequented this club. I just had not had any communication for him in a few weeks. I did not know that he would be here today. I, uh, I'm actually here to pick up a young gentleman who
Oh,
I'm also in town visiting.
oh, I thought we were all young unbetrothed ladies. I didn't know one of us was on the way to Mrs.
I also thought that, and I turn my eyes to Nora. Who were you meeting?
I I don't know if you would know them. They run
I
a
know a
small
lot of
printing.
people.
They run a small printing shop. Several magazines come out of it. I think you actually might read one or two of them. Uh, his name is Gilbert Walford. Does that strike any bells for you?
Oh, yes,
This,
Walford. I have, yes, I've heard of him.
I
does
hope
he,
not his
does
writing.
he, does
He's
he
not.
publish he
Yes,
published Walford?
Yes, that is correct.
Walford, okay. So did he have that falling out with William Blake?
Yes, that was quite a loss, and I would. Uh, they are still recouping from that.
Yes, he
Several
was a
other.
wonderful engraver. I don't know much of his poetry, but his pictures were lovely.
so, you are the messenger angel to tell us that this great bard will be joining us this evening. He's here as well.
He is just inside. I was going to announce my presence, but we can spend some time together if you would like.
Oh, we wouldn't want to keep you from your engagement, of course.
No.
Well, I don't know. What are you wearing? This is so lovely.
Oh, thank you. This is actually made from some of the sheep on my family's estate. Uh,
Oh, How wonderful. I'm also entirely wearing wool. I am only allowed to wear wool, sadly. Prescription.
All right, I'm gonna save you guys.
I love her.
At that moment, someone shouts out, "Ladies and gentlemen of the esteemed Drones Club, the finest club in all of London," shouts of "Hear, hear, hear, hear." We are honored tonight to welcome the cast of Mr. Oliver Goldsmith's Will-Beloved Comedy, Mr. Jonathan Marks of our own club, Mr. William Harris, also of our club, and the divine Miss Lucy O'Shannon. Lucy comes gliding in, followed by a coterie of the kinds of people that wait by stage houses, hoping to pick up the actresses.
Oh goodness, isn't she lovely? She's positively glowing, actually.
Yes, her most recent show got excellent reviews. Or well, half of them were excellent.
My goodness. That what Lady at Davenport curtsies. Miss Nora.
Ah, the prima donna herself.
Yes.
I
Well,
apologize. I've only just arrived in town. I will have to make a visit to your theater.
oh, well, Martin. Make sure that Miss Du Maurier is given a box tomorrow. That's a good man.
Oh, that is too kind. No.
No, not really.
Well, then I very much look forward to it. I shall see if my brother is available. Again, he is a great admirer of yours.
Oh, I thought that perhaps you would have. She looks at Percy and then looks back at you. I see.
Oh, well, I'm sure. Nora, you have obviously seen. If you'll excuse me. And she's just like, a little too awkward. I need to go powder my nose.
And I am Lady Walcott.
Oh, yes, this is
The lady.
Lady Walcott.
What an honor it is to make your acquaintance.
Oh, the honor is mine. Certainly. Is that silk?
Yes, it is. But it's a dreadful old thing that I threw on. If you don't, Miss Davenport, do you know where I might find the punch bowl? Perhaps you could lead me there.
With pleasure. I take your arm and lead you away from this poor girl. And I
I'll
lead
just
you
stay here then.
swiftly to the nearest man.
Lord. I've met playbills with more personality than that unfortunate aristocrat.
Oh, she's a damp towel of a person.
I think that
But
you'll find that a
she's
damp
well
towel is a good cure for a headache, not a good cause for a headache.
Well, she's useful and well connected. And
Are you going to marry her off to any of your companions?
yes, that's my plot. You have
Oh.
the idea of it?
Who indeed do you plan to marry him off to?
Well, I'm not really sure. At this point, I was really considering that Marmaduke needs somebody and that she needs somebody.
What an absolutely capital idea. I have not since Anthony dropped by Cleopatra's one night on an errand has it been such an appropriate matchup.
They seem appropriate, don't they? They're good for one another.
Rather. Is she rich?
Terribly.
That's 90% of what Marmaduke likes in a girl.
And isn't she lovely? She's a beautiful little thing.
Quite.
So I'm plotting to have a ball, but I thought we might get things started, spark the flame, so to speak, here at his home turf.
Well, then perhaps I shall just leave my name and let Marmaduke know that I wish to attend upon him.
Oh, no, but you must remain. You can't scurry off anywhere,
Well,
dear.
I can't go in there. It's for drones.
Well, sure. We all of us ladies must remain out here.
I do actually need to talk to Marmaduke about a few matters.
Mm.
So
Marmaduke,
I have a
really?
pretext.
Not our dear captain? Lieutenant, rather.
The lieutenant's here?
Yes.
I see.
And your reaction speaks volumes, my dear. It is as I feared. I heard that one of my horses with a particularly fine gait was taken out the other day, and only two.
Why, my dear Lady Davenport, you understand that I am an actress, and therefore all my emotions are always feigned.
Well, he's not a poor man. You could do worse,
He
but you could
isn't?
also do better.
That's not
Keep that in
what's-
mind.
He's not poor.
No. No, he's not.
So what? Interesting. Well, I shall wait on Marmaduke. And yes.
And does Marmaduke make an entry? Does he kind of spy these ladies and
Hey, I'll take
We're
a
whispering conspiratorially.
so
fan
Marmaduke
behind our fans.
Yeah, exactly. I need a fan.
as much as he can, simply because he has spied, he's seen both of you with a tall, willowy, handsome, beautiful girl who seems to have some noble bearing. So his interest is piqued. So he comes and says, "Good afternoon, ladies. Welcome to the drones. I'm so glad that you could make it."
Ah, Dookie! Just the young man I was looking to see. And I'm like scanning the crowd now looking for my
The
lost
Huckleberry.
lamb.
Well,
how-
Mr. Shannon, yes.
How good it is to see you.
Likewise. How are your friends, may I ask, both on this island and on the continent?
I wish to speak to you about catching up with our old friends. My lady, you don't mind if I borrow Dookie.
Not at all. But don't take him forever. I have a very important person I should like him to meet, and I give him a conspiratorial wink.
Well, I shall endeavor to bring him back unless he does something foolish like commit
Correct.
murder.
Behave, you two.
Dookie,
Miss O'Shannon.
I have something for you.
Oh. Might I inquire what?
Do you have a guinea on you?
Oh, I always make it a point never to carry my wallet on me.
Well, you should.
But Alfred, here, I can always. I tend to. Alfred keeps a bank account for me, so I beckon to Alfred, and he comes, and then there's some. I whisper in his ears. He doesn't really like the sound of it, but grudgingly parts with a guinea, and then I promptly hand it off to you as if
it is not for me, my dear boy.
Oh.
I promised the coachman who is waiting in the alley behind this esteemed establishment to not leave under any duress, as he was to receive a guinea from the gentleman. If you go to that coach anytime and before she can figure out some way to overpower him, seize the four in hand, and drive like hell for leather for Brighton, is our dear mutual friend, Miss Celeste Lefebvre.
I see. And I thought she was indisposed.
I leave you to discover the truth of these things in your own time. It took some doing to track her down, Marmaduke, and I do think that squares us, don't you?
You did rather well, my friend. Thank you. I do hope that Miss or Mademoiselle Lefebvre exits town just as hastily she arrived.
Well, I thought you might talk to her about that.
Hmm.
I have done my part, and to be honest, if you were to see so good as to lend me 50 quid until I can pay you back in the summer, that would not go. That would be, of course, the type of condescension you are so well known for.
Oh, pish. What's money between two friends?
I shall
Let
have
me
my man of business call upon your accounting house.
let me check in with Alfred. As I mentioned to you, he keeps all my money.
I don't need it now, Dookie. Please, there's no need to pay me for my services. I understand there are ladies like that who come to the Drones Club, but I am not one of them, despite what you may have heard of my profession.
Oh, I think you misunderstood, Miss O'Shannon. Quite so, quite so. Have your people contact my people, and then let me go off to um, go and see what's going on with this coach, and let me tip this gentleman who's keeping this precious cargo for me. And then I tool off to see what's going down there.
Insufferable prat. Just walk away mad. Well, you're up. You're up there, Preston. If we want to do that, or do we want to cut to another scene and let you guys think about what's going to happen?
Oh, I think it'd be interesting if Nora comes back to the same spot. Oh my dear, where did Lady Persephone and Miss O'Shannon get to?
Oh, they went to the punch bowl. They're fetching me some punch, I believe.
And they left you all alone.
But yes, I believe that was what was. I think that's what that they were doing.
Oh, that's no good. I shall sit with you at least until they return.
Oh, thank you so much.
But do tell me all about yourself, dear. And how quickly is Nora just glassy-eyed after that?
Yeah, basically, yes. Well, it's not much to tell, really. And then
Fascinating with the letter
good hour.
O's. That's many
I
of
don't
them.
remember exactly which ones, but I know that they're green on one part and then another color on another part.
Mm-hmm.
And you're only supposed to eat the other color, but not the green, except for the other vegetables that I'm supposed to eat. Which place I'm supposed to eat the green part?
Desperately looking for a savior.
I start making my way over with a drink to rescue you, Nora.
Oh, Lady Persephone. Lady Persephone.
Oh, look, it's a drink.
Yes, for you, and well, for you, Nora, if you'd like it.
Oh no, I'm sure that was meant for you. I'm okay. I have a long night ahead of me.
Ah, do you? Is there something we should know?
No, we're just going to meet.
Yes, you met with your gentleman friend.
Yes.
Oh, right. The poet. That's right,
Yes.
of course. Well,
What part of the courtship are we on? Are we to the bundling stage?
are we?
I feel that Nora needs to roll to keep her cool, and she is going rather pink. She's already pink from the cold, but she's going even pinker. Well, he has proposed, but you do have to reject them at least once.
Persephone looks visibly shaken.
Yes, I mean, you don't want to be seen some sort of slattern.
It's certainly not, and I am still somewhat undecided. He is quite adequate.
Oh.
Adequate is an excellent word to describe him, I should think.
And
Such an amazing adjective for a husband.
I can't wait to introduce you to a friend of mine.
oh, playing matchmaker, Nora? Playing matchmaker, Persephone?
It's almost like we're the same person. Um, oh, well, I just think it's important to know what players are on the field, so to speak.
Anyone that I happen to know?
And then, oh, well, I guess you're outside in the alley, so I don't know where you are. Well, yes, I would say it's a mutual acquaintance. He'll certainly be at the ball. I hope you'll be there as well.
Of course.
Good.
And very well, I will let you keep your secrets, and perhaps I shall keep some of mine. And she stands up. If you ladies will excuse me. And she goes to check in at reception to ask after Mr. Walford.
No matter how we dice it, we will probably have to have a Preston and mayonnaise scene. So, which one do we want to do first?
Maybe the poet. The poet is sitting like, pensively at the table, making love to his drink. And then he sees he very dramatically lifts his eyes from his drink, and yonder there sees his lady love wafting into the drones club, and shoots to his feet, and is completely he's startled because he was thinking about Nora, and then he says, "Oh my, Miss Du Maurier, I was just thinking about you. You just appeared out of thin air."
Oh, this was the appointed time that I was to arrive, wasn't it? Oh no, did my letter get lost? Oh no, it's probably going to arrive too late.
Oh, no,
Well,
dear lady, it's not you, it is I. I am often given to these lapses of memory, which is great for my profession, because I forget all the bad poetry that I write, but does not come in very handy when I have to remember all these appointments. But I'm so glad to see you. Please do come in. I hope you have had time to think about many important things, I take it, on your ride to London.
oh yes, I'm very excited to meet. I'm very excited to meet your friends and some of your family, and I know what you're after. I But just at the moment, I am a bit shaken, so apologies if I cannot fully engage in that particular conversation at this time. May I join you in something warm to drink, please?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then he is a tad disappointed and mumbles under his breath, "I do love her, though I know she lies." And then he's casting his loving glances at his lady love, and
Oh, he can totally catch her like looking off after Persephone, but what he can make of that, I do not know. I,
yeah. And then the bard says, "How about some hot toddy?" Alfred, is that an anachronism? Hot toddy, I guess. Yeah, it's
it's
probably
good.
not in short supply at the drones club. So, he snaps his fingers, and then somehow magically a footman under Alfred appears, and then he says, "Well, 2 hot toddies, please." And
Beautiful.
then hot toddies just appear magically, and there you go, my lady.
Thank you. And tomorrow evening, I may have to excuse myself, or I may have an invitation for you. Miss O'Shannon, who was announced moments ago, I do not know where she has gotten to. She is an old acquaintance,
Hmm.
and I have been offered a box seat for tomorrow evening's performance. I of course have to first check if my brother would like to attend with me. He is a dear admirer of hers. I swear, if he were not married, he would be courting her in a second. But if he is unable to attend, perhaps you would be free tomorrow.
Always at your service. And let me ask you, Ms. de Maurier, has Miss O'Shannon or anyone part of a troupe seen your brother? Ever? Is he a well-known figure?
Is this an in-character question or out-of-character question?
I think it's an in-character question because I'm insinuating that I, kind of just take your brother's place anyways.
He is a very shy individual, as you're well aware. I think that is the reason, the majority of the reason. That is the primary reason that he has not made your acquaintance as of yet. I keep insisting that you are quite a lovely person, but he is somewhat of a recluse in the winter, makes him even more so. But I think for this he might come out, and I love to see my brother happy.
Oh.
But do not think, and she places her hands on one of yours. Do not think that I am shutting you out in any way. This is
No, not at all, my dear. I shall be there. I will attend the performance, and I'll place myself strategically so as to be able to steal glances at you while the performance is ongoing. And then I suddenly realize that someone seems to have, our conversation has pricked someone's ears. I see that Percy is looking towards us from a distance. She sees us talking, and I do draw you close and ask, "Do you know that woman?"
and just before that, I don't know if you caught it, but Nora would have slightly blushed at your offer to sit somewhere else and gaze upon her lovingly from across the theater. And at your question, that is Lady Persephone Dabbridgecourt. She and I were once great friends. At this time, we have had something of a falling out, then a mending, but things remain fractured.
Oh, I see. What a pity. I was going to suggest that we go and talk to Lady Dabbridgecourt.
I believe she is waiting on a member of your club, actually, and my cousin. He is supposed to be here somewhere.
Who might that be?
Sir Marmaduke Huckleberry.
Oh, Marmaduke, Dukey. I just saw him slip out. Let me go and get him if your lady friend is waiting on him. So I tootle off, and maybe the scene cuts to.
I think I'd like. We need to have this Lucy and the lieutenant scene. I think so. Like Bertie, as usual, is sort of just wandering around the periphery of the place, bewildered, and turns a corner and sees Lucy sitting next to William Marks, one of the lead actors, and she's like holding his hand and saying, "Come on now, Billy. You know that Daniel always runs off the first night of a show. He'll be back home in your bed with the dogs before you get home, all right?" He looks up and goes, "Mr. Marks, we'll go over that tomorrow in the theater." Lieutenant Dunwoody, how good to see you. I'd heard you were here.
Miss O'Shannon, so good to see you. Fancy meeting you here.
Yes, of course. Fancy meeting me here.
Was that a friend of yours?
That's Mr. William Marks. He'll probably get a knighthood in another 5 years.
Oh, is he a...
He's an actor. He's an actor.
Oh, I thought you meant he was in the military.
No. I doubt you're the only military man I know besides my brother, and he's in Newfoundland. I never see him.
Really? I would suppose I would suppose all the sailors would be mobbing you.
Bertie, remember that thing I said to you about?
Oh, right. It's not. Yes, I know the things I would say to certain kinds of. Yes, it's not. I'm sorry. You know I'm sorry. You know I only meant it in the best way possible.
Honestly, Bertie, you should hire a dancing master who wrong-footed so many times.
Nearly had to.
What are you doing still ashore? I would have expected that His Majesty would have finally come to his senses, or perhaps looked up from his cups long enough to give you a commission.
No idea. No idea at all. Even my wastrel friend, Lieutenant Cockle, has found himself another ship.
Well, that seems dashed unfair.
But it's what I guess it's what this is supposed to be. I never really could get the hang of the political part of this business.
You wouldn't mind if I was just a little bit forward, Bertie, would you?
Not at all. I prefer it.
I think that you should make your luck happen, and if you need someone to help you figure out how to do that, then I will volunteer my services. You're too good a man and too good an officer to be left ashore like yesterday's tea box.
You would do that for me?
Yeah.
I feel like we've only just made each other's acquaintance. The fact that you would do such a thing.
Of course, I am motivated purely by my native patriotism for England. And then she tries not to break.
Yes. Oh, well, he's not noticing because he's choked up. He's not supposed to show any emotion. He's like, right. Well, I mean, any help you could give me at all would be helpful. My old captain Fitzwilliam, he told me that I should find someone who could manage my affairs while ashore, while I'm at sea.
Bertie, I left you a ticket for my show. I guess you didn't bother to walk by and find that out. But that's all right.
Wait, for free?
Oh, good
That's
God.
just wait. That's much too good for the likes of me. I couldn't possibly count on such a thing. No, I'll pay my way.
Lieutenant Dunwoody, as you were. Now, he may not be the most popular man with Admiralty, but he knows people. Do you know Sir Thomas Cochrane?
Yes, I've heard the name.
He comes to the theater on the regular.
Ah.
Would you perhaps like me to put you in his box? Lord knows he's been trying to get into other actresses.
While I am grateful for the opportunity, I fear that I would.
Bertie Dunwoody, am I to help you or not?
No, my only question, my ask is that perhaps after the show, you could introduce me, and then I would have someone there at my side to facilitate the locutions that I am unable to engender in my ruined cranium.
I see. Well, all right, but I should let you know that usually when Tommy and the boys are in town, we just go out and have a right pisser. Do you feel up for a right pisser, Bertie?
I'm fairly used to multiple rations of rum a day, so I don't think there'll be a problem.
Don't wear your uniform. Show up backstage 15 minutes after the curtain, and me and the girls will take you out. And Billy, if Daniel's come home.
Right. Thank you very much.
Bertie, you've taken spherical trigonometry. You cannot possibly be so unable to navigate things.
I fear sometimes my obvious stupidity is the crutch I use to keep from engaging in actual, how does one say, domestic intercourse.
Well, it's a very poor look on you. You're too fine a man to. And then she realizes what she's saying and says, "And officer, too fine an officer to appear such at a loss. Oh, I do you believe I have my name?" And she runs away embarrassed.
What? Good job.
All right, let's see the Celeste thing and then maybe wind up with something quick because I feel like we've got Nora and Persephone sort of on an edge, so we need some kind of closure. But let's do the Celeste and Marmaduke scene. God help us all. Yeah, Newgate Jail's not that far. Just
So Marmaduke is running down the stairs of the Drones Club and running into the back alley where there's a stagecoach waiting. And then he sees the coachman.
Marmaduke Huckleberry, you stop right there. No fake French accent, nothing. She is just pointing at you with her fan, standing in the snow in her furs.
Oh my, Mademoiselle, why? Enchanté.
Do not enchante me.
My dear lady.
You have not returned a single letter in 3 months' time. I might have supposed you dead for all I know. And yet here I find you at your usual haunt, stinking of gin.
Oh my, I am quite surprised. I did write you a letter.
And I'm
As
sure it got lost in the post.
It did. Oh my. How are you doing, my dear?
I am cold and I'm hungry. Why don't you take me to a dinner and we can discuss things?
Oh, but my dear, it's quite impossible. You see, I am entertaining some friends at the club.
Oh, then why don't we go in together?
Oh, pish. Of course. But you see, the club, there's a problem. We don't allow ladies to dine. It's for gentlemen only.
I can wait.
I wouldn't want
all
to
night.
wait here in the cold, my dear.
I'm sure there is a reception.
Bleak March wind might not be so good for your
My condition, and she prominently shows off her belly.
Oh my. And Marmaduke is completely, he was not expecting this. He thought it was all a bluff to see this, woman who's showing her, her protruding belly is taken aback, and he kind of, falls backwards, like takes like 10 steps back, and he's speechless. He doesn't know how to react. And then
come now, it is not as bad as all that. This happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Oh my. But may I ask, Mademoiselle, the last time I saw you didn't have a paramour, you didn't have a husband. How are you here in this situation?
Her eyes are just like icy. And like you thought it was cold outside. Your like your heart is stopping a little bit. Do not play games with me, Dookie.
Oh my dear, no, not at all, not at all. I just wanted to make sure that you are going to be okay and you're going to be taken care of. There's some cat of a man has promised you his hand in marriage and left you. But
I've been able to hide this for quite some time, but it is getting soon. It will be quite impossible. My reputation is in ruins. My acting has completely ceased. I have had to take up drudgery work just to make ends meet, and live off the kindness of some of my friends, the ones that will still have me. And I remember a certain gentleman. No, that's not the right word, is it? I remember a certain man.
Oh, Marmaduke is cooing in his boots, and he doesn't really remember. He's not really certain because he's always um, resorted to all kinds of, either his brain was either opium addled or he was drunk, so he doesn't quite remember, but he knows now is not the time. So he says that maybe we should just put this on the back burner and see if we can get her off my back, right? So he says, "My dear, I must go back, but I would love to catch up with you and make sure that you're comfortable. How about a fiver until the weekend? And I will, I will come and check on you." Yeah.
You mean to insult me? You mean to
No,
disappear
no,
again?
nothing of that kind. I merely meant my friend Bingo Little runs a public house and a very reputable establishment, and I was merely offering to put you up there and give you some money so that you are able to order drinks and, in this condition of yours, keep yourself entertained. Obviously, it's lost on him that a pregnant woman cannot drink alcohol. Of course, they were drinking alcohol at that time. So, oh, please do take this note. And he hurriedly writes his note, and he says,
I'm not going anywhere.
Sorry?
I'm not going anywhere. If you want to shunt me off to some place and with the promise that you will see me later, then you will take me to this place now, and you can then return to this den of yours. But if you do not meet with me on the weekend, I will begin to tell every one of your acquaintances. I will make sure that all of them hear of this.
No, that won't be quite necessary.
I
have a reputation to keep.
If I have to go down, I will take you with me, Marmaduke.
Oh my. By Jove, I have only the best of intentions for you, my dear lady. And he says, well, hurriedly pulls out a couple of guineas and gives to the coachman and says, take this lady to this establishment, and writes down the address and make sure that she's taken care of. And I will myself check on you tomorrow, my dear. Please be well. Please take care of yourself. And he's like almost running away, regardless of the reaction, so that he doesn't get pulled back.
Marmaduke, my brother will find you if you do not meet with me tomorrow.
Oh my! What is your brother, pray? Is he a serviceman, or does he own?
Ah, that stopped you in your tracks, didn't it? My brother is a longshoreman, and he is also a boxer, very well known.
I assure you that
you want that pretty little face of yours to stay that way. You will meet with me tomorrow.
I will.
Goodness knows how many other young ladies' lives you've ruined, but you will not escape me the way you might have them.
My dear, I assure you, I have not
actually
ruined.
And she stepped into the carriage.
And then Marmaduke's face has fallen, blood has left his face, his ashen, is pale, and he tortures back one step at a time, back to his drone's club. His mind, his brow furrowed and mind lost.
He's
you don't have to have...
Oh yeah, he's immediately accosted by Persephone. I run up. Oh, Dookie! Hello, over here. There's a lovely young lady, my third cousin, who I'd like to introduce you to.
Oh, my lady, I need something strong. I need a drink. Please sit down. But yes, of course, please do introduce me. But may
Here's
I
some punch.
go and I must find Alfred. And then I'm running. Alfred!
No, wait.
Is it because
Ah,
we not have the right drink for him?
perhaps not. No. Remember, you can only drink sherry because of the thing that you were talking about.
Oh, yes. I just want to have it in my hand.
Quite. Uh, and if Marmaduke's gone, then maybe I'm just like, well, perhaps we'll have better luck at the ball then, my dear. I'm sure you've had quite enough of all of this.
Oh, I think
If
it's
we're
splendid. Wait, it's not over yet, is it? It's only half past.
well, I suppose no, it's not over for everyone. But like, I don't know if we wanted to. We don't have to linger if Marmaduke is gone for the evening. That was my only other thing.
Marmaduke is in the interim. He's pretty easy to recover because he's a professional playboy of vapid youth. So a drink is all that he needs, and then he's chasing skirt because that's his calling. So he immediately shows up on the fireplace with a drink in his hand and still a kerchief to his head, wiping the beads of sweat that have accumulated. And then he's his suave self again, but at the same time a little bit restrained because he's not really certain what anyone heard. But just basically wants to come and make acquaintance and then go in back again for another drink.
We're in a good place, I think.
Yeah.
Like this was a disaster in best possible way. All right.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
So I think what we could do is real quick, now that everybody knows how to do it, is see if you have any reputation left after that horror show.
Man, probably not.
I think my reputation didn't change. I didn't. Yeah, I'm still terrible, but like in an attractive way.
I don't know that I did anything bad. We're good. Well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only way I could see it happening is if we count Lucy's offer to hook you up with Thomas Cochrane as getting an invitation from a higher rank.
Yes, that is correct.
There you go, then. So maybe I'm sure you and the infamous Thomas Cochrane, who he was a lot of fun.
Did anything positive? I never do anything positive. I should make an effort.
You don't have to. Dumpster fire to the end.
I know, right? Well, that's kind of how I built her. I need to think of another negative tag.
Oh.
She didn't do anything too negative. She basically seemed to have like squashed anything that would go against society down to maintain appearances and
Well, but then I wrote you a note where I was like, "Oh, I heard your boatman might be coming back in town." Like, I'm not acting very ladylike, I suppose. But did I do? I guess I have like I'm not running around with you anymore. We just have longing glances across a ballroom, but that's not unheard of.
while people are thinking, I felt that Nora definitely acted in society's best interests. Society's best interest, not her best interest, yeah. And I took the tag adequately pre-engaged.
Decided that Lucy deciding to help the hapless lieutenant was enough to earn her the tag sweet, and I have taken the high society reputation condition. My parties are well known and attract the best, attract the very wealthy individuals. So we imply that, and that she's going to, write pissers with Thomas Cochrane. So
I also got a tag. I got a tremendous catch.
if only Nora would pay it. If only Percy would pay attention.
If only.
Guys should just run off to Newfoundland together. All right, everybody good?
I don't have a word.
What's the long version that you're trying to convey?
Gosh, I mean that I'm a dumpster fire of a person.
You could do dumpster fire. That's...
No, dumpster fire.
You're constantly beleaguered.
Beleaguered might be a good one. I like that word so much. It's hard to condense these things into a perfect diamond.
Hey, you don't have to use just a word if you want to use a short phrase. That's totally okay.
Okay.
I once had a character who was a classical musician who hadn't been playing for a while, and so I took a tag called "Don't Call It a Comeback."
Yeah. I mean ruin. I'm gonna say that.
Ooh, ow. Oh, Percy is so sad. Well, you have so many resolve tokens, you can fix that.
I can
next
start
time.
using them. I need to be better about knowing how and when to use those things.
Usually we haven't need them because everybody's like, how about this thing? And everyone's like, yeah, that thing. So, but like, maybe if you want to like create some extreme coincidences for how you're going to find like win your lady love hearts at the end.
Yes. I love that.
Or if you want to use those resolve tokens to force a windfall financially, that could be.
I can do that. I'm
Sure.
capable of. I can control the invisible hand of the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible. Okay. Good to know.
Alrighty then.
Do we need to do our tag scenes?
If you want. I mean, I think mine is just simply a shot of me and Bertie at this, crazy actors club at night
Yes.
with a bunch of Royal Navy officers who are all glad handing him and slapping him on the back and calling him a very good fellow.
Oh, I think mine would be then the following evening, a shot of the play where Nora's brother could not make it, and it is her and Mr. Walford in the box together, convivially enjoying the play jointly.
I think we pick up with Percy right where the evening left off. She's standing there in between her third cousin and Marmaduke, drinking and watching as she sees Nora leave the establishment with this poet. Seem to be enjoying each other's company.
And mine would be perhaps in the same scene, thinking about how to call on Bingo Little for a favor.
And Bertie, I guess you actually have a scene like you and like me. Everyone else got to do one because I think that was cool. But do we want to create Thomas Cochrane as a connection for you?
Yeah, I was looking for that. I was like, it was that, or it was going to be
Or we can
Lord Nelson's mistress. But I think that Thomas Cochrane's better.
Yeah.
No, but I think Thomas Cochrane's better.
With that, we can call this a game. Thank you all so very much. I am very much looking forward to it. I'm going to assume next time it's going to be the end. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we'll do it. We'll one last gigantic ball. We'll try and get as much done. We're definitely, going to cruise towards that novel chapter, and the way we'll do it is the final epistolary is supposed to be epilogues. So when that happens, we'll all get to write one letter that will wrap up our stories from the future vanpoint. Yep.
How beautiful. Oh, I like this game so much.
I adore it. Dear God, Bertie, why are you not Grand Admiral?
Okay, goodness. We'll have to talk to our therapist about that, Manny.
Yes. Mamma mia.
All right.
I found my therapist really wants nothing to do with any of my role playing.
Look, don't worry
Can
about
we
it.
just take a couple steps back as soon as you start
I
talking?
only
Yeah.
broke up with 2 of the 3 people that I started dating inside my own gaming group. So, you know.
Oh no. Don't listen to them.
It
This
makes life
game
easier.
is so much fun.
Yeah.
What a joy.
This is maybe my favorite game. I don't know. It's hard to say. I like a lot of games, but Good Society is a warm spot in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the Russian version I run is truly fun. Every year
Yeah,
I get together with friends.
now that I have an idea about this, I can just see all of the applications.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a
I'm-
Russian themed game.
I plan to make an entrance because I am an actor.
Or are you an actor?
Sometimes. My quote before was from the dictionary episode of Blackadder 3, which it's completely ahistorical, and it's an absolute laugh riot. Not just least because they cast Robbie Coltrane as Dr. Johnson. So Dr. Johnson's friend Queenie, who was one of his students, I forget her real name. She married Lord Elphinstone, who was like the highest ranking admiral in the British Navy at the time. So that's, you know, all kinds of weird connections happen like that. She was like she was a brilliant mathematician in her own right. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff floating around, like Herschel's sister. William Herschel's sister is like he's still alive at this period. You know, he was the first man to discover a planet. Yeah, he discovered Uranus.
Oh right.
Wow.
Yeah. He wanted to call it George's star for a while.
That's
but,
right.
Yeah, but like I think it just never stuck.
Yeah.
Sedum Georgios.